How do you know if you're a high achieving woman? Because from the outside, it can look like you simply have it together. You're responsible, you show up, you deliver. People count on you, and you rarely let them down. And you've probably heard it your whole life. You're so strong, you always handle everything. I don't know how to do it like you do it. And part of you receives that as a compliment, but another part of you knows that it actually costs, because being high achieving isn't just a personality trait. It's a way you've learned to function, a way your body has learned to move through the world. A high functioning woman doesn't just get things done. She feels personally responsible for making sure everything works for everyone all of the time. And over years of living that way, it stops just being something you do. It becomes something you are. So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You have a free evening, and instead of resting, your mind immediately starts filling in what should you be doing. You finish one thing and feel a brief moment of relief before the next pressure moves in. You're exhausted, genuinely exhausted, but your body still won't let you fully stop. You rest, but you don't wake up feeling rested. You're the one everyone leans on, and you're grateful for that. But when you need support, you don't quite know how to ask for it. And stillness, being still without a purpose, that can feel wrong, like you're falling behind, like you're being lazy, like something is going to slip if you stop holding it all together. If any of that landed, I want you to hear this. You're not just driven. Your body has learned how to survive through performance. And for a lot of women, this didn't start at work. It didn't start with a demanding career or a packed calendar. It started much earlier. It started in environments where you had to stay aware, where getting it right mattered, where being strong wasn't a choice, it was a requirement. Maybe you were the responsible one in your family, the one who noticed when things were off, the one who kept the peace. Maybe you learned early that love felt more stable when you were performing well. Maybe being okay meant making sure everyone around you was okay first. And so your nervous system learned a very specific lesson. What do I have to do to feel safe? For some women, the answer was achieving. For others, it was overfunctioning. For others, it was becoming the one everyone needed. And what looks like ambition on the outside can be a survival pattern on the inside. Now, that's not a criticism. That's not something to be ashamed of. It's something worth understanding. Because here's where I want to take this conversation deeper. We're going to talk about how trauma, especially the kind that doesn't always get labeled as trauma, can train your body to stay in a constant state of alert. We're going to talk about how your nervous system doesn't easily come down when your body looks completely stable from the outside. But we're also going to talk about something that goes beyond nervous system regulation. We're going to talk about identity, not identity based on what you produce, not identity based on how well you hold it all together. Identity rooted in who God says you are. Because here's the thing, when your sense of self is built on performance, your nervous system will always feel like it has to keep performing. There's no finish line. There's no moment where it's finally enough. But when your identity is anchored in Christ, not in what you do, but in who you are, something starts to shift in your body. You begin to experience safety that doesn't require you to earn it, peace that doesn't depend on everything going right, rest that isn't conditional on finishing the list first. That's not a small shift. That's a fundamental change in how you live. So, if you've been running on high alert for as long as you can remember, if you've been carrying more than your body was designed to hold, this isn't about doing less for the sake of it. This isn't about becoming more a person who cares less or achieves less. This is about learning to live from a regulated place where your body, your mind, and your spirit are actually in alignment, where you're not just functioning, you're present, where peace isn't something you collapse into at the end of a hard week. It's something you carry. We're going to walk through that step by step, what it looks like, what gets in the way, and what becomes possible when your nervous system finally learns it's safe. Because you don't have to keep living in survival mode, even if it's the only way you've ever known. If this resonated with you, you're exactly in the right place. Welcome to Peace in Her Body.